What's up, everybody? So this is just kind of a test run here. We're down here at the local Down to Earth. Everybody's just still getting set up. It was really casual today. Just glad you guys could all tune in and say hi. What's up? I see y'all. How does the audio sound? You hear us good? Okay, good. How do you like the shot? Where'd Steve go?
I'm right here.
Oh, he's hiding behind. I gotta move. So we got Steve
Hi, everybody.
and Joy from Down to Earth. This is the people we've been telling you guys about, and the detox and cleanse, and it's great for people that are just coming off of anything, alcohol, meth, heroin, whatever. They're going to get you clean. You know how we always talk about the best thing to do for an addict, if you can't get them help, is to at least get them clean so that their brain can start working properly. Then they can start making the next right decision, right? When they're under the influence, they still got that drugs in their system. It's just they're still under that obsession of addiction. And so to get them clean and to try to get their mind to start working better, that's kind of what we're doing. That's how we met them, through my Aunt Kathy with Advise Advertising. She's a member of the board. A lot of you know who she is.
Yes, I was here once before.
And she's helping us out. So today we're just going to talk. We're going to let them tell their spiel, and then in about 8 minutes or so, we're going to get a phone call, and we're doing a radio show. So you guys will just be watching from the background. And so we're just going to let this thing run live for the next hour and a half or so, and we're just really glad you're here. Yeah.
And what we really want to do is we want to educate everybody who's trying to get sober, and all of you fantastic people who've already gotten sober. We want to get you healthy so you can stay healthy. And Steve and Irina are going to do a fantastic. Thank you, Joy. They just got me a chair. They got me a chair. They know I'm aged. I'm 90. Can you believe I look this good? Anyway, so
95.
yeah, exactly. I did. I'm really 95. I was lying. You won't get my weight out of me. But anyway, so yeah, they're going to help everybody that's watching today. If you've got any health questions whatsoever, we've got Steve and Joy. They're just fantastic. They own Down to Earth here, Down to Earth Health Food Store here in Ogden. And they're helping me. I'm trying to detox from sugar. Everybody else, congratulations. Whenever I get the opportunity to be with LT and Felice, I want to congratulate everybody for your sobriety. And then ask questions. We've got the pros here. They're going to get you healthy. And also, we're going to have fun till your daddy takes the T-bird away.
See? Oh.
And I'm the aunt. I'm the one who's their marketer.
Yep. Ground full on Periscope. That's a good question. Today's not the day for questions, but tune in tomorrow night. We'll answer all those questions. Actually, we have a New Year's Eve party via Recovering Addict from 6 till 1 o'clock in the morning, all digital. We're going to have 2 Zoom meetings, a live stream, then we're going to stream a movie, and then have another Zoom meeting following that. We'll pause at each time zone and say Happy New Year's.
Awesome.
Are they physicians? Alicia would like to know.
No, we're not. And
We're studying nutrition all our lives.
And apropos professionals, the only professionals are the ones who went through this process, okay? They are the ones who know how much it pains you to go through this process and what you need. So the most difficult situation in addiction is how to bring the horse to water. As a friend of mine just said today, how do you convince someone that is wrong to be an addict? How do you convince someone that you should stop it? How do you bring someone to make that life decision? And so, in our opinion, you start with the basics, meaning many alcohol addicts are depleted in the B vitamins. So you start with the B vitamins. Many are depleted in amino acids. You start with amino acids. Another thing, water, says Kathy, water. Well, how do you convince someone to drink water instead of wine? Okay, water is life, of course, but theory doesn't work here. Chemistry works. So if you go with vitamins, with the basics, with the building blocks of what's missing in the body is not going to want to overcompensate with something else that is damaging everything. So oftentimes depression brings you to that. And depression can come simply from a lack of good bacteria in your gut. There is a big nerve coming directly from the gut to the brain. It's called the vagus nerve. And that nerve transmits to the brain everything that's not okay in the gut. For example, not many people know that serotonin is produced in the gut. B vitamins are produced in the gut. If the gut doesn't have that production, the brain is not going to function properly. The emotions are affected by it. It goes from simple anxiety up to schizophrenia, guys. Everything can be traced down to the lack of the good bacteria in the gut.
So then the addict needs to
take care of the gut.
Eat right.
eat right. That's
Your
exactly
food is
it.
so important
Yes.
because if you don't have the proper food to nourish your body, your bacteria in your intestinal tract aren't going to work because they'll get beat up by the chemicals,
Like we
alcohol.
said this, you guys will know. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy
Be
food.
thy food. Exactly. It's
Hypocrisy,
hypocrisy.
yeah.
There
Exactly.
you go. So that's the biggest key thing. So if we were gonna boil it down to a couple of things, drink water. Your diet has to go more from natural and raw foods, and the supplements that Steve and Irina are telling
The
us.
supplements, guys, the
Yes.
supplements, because the food doesn't give it to you anymore.
Because our food is compromised because of our soil
Yes.
and the other problems there.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of our
So-
food that's grown
Yeah.
is lacking trace minerals. Trace minerals are so important for our health. And you can remove one mineral and it can cause a problem in your body. But if you have all the trace minerals there, and how do you get it? If the food doesn't contain it, you got to supplement.
Yeah.
And so let's say all of a sudden you decide you're going to go on a good natural diet and you're going to not eat food from the grocery store anymore. You're going to just get nothing but fruits and vegetables. You may go malnourished because that store has foods that are fortified with cheap vitamins, however, but it
Right.
keeps you healthy enough that you don't feel it. But the best thing to do would be to get you a good quality vitamin and then eat the fruits and vegetables.
The best
Yeah.
food that you can have available to you.
Yeah, and grow your own. Your own food is better, and make sure you fertilize it with good foods like composting rather than buying.
But
No.
who has all this? Who has all this? Only Kathy has this.
Andy Cotton asks, like, what supplements would be good to take for that?
B vitamins, probiotics, amino acids, vitamin C, antioxidants.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Will you post the phone number and stuff, so if they have
Oh yeah, if
questions?
you guys have any questions, I'll throw
Or
it.
if they want
Yeah.
to order something?
And-
call and talk to either one of
And
us.
and there is another very, very important aspect to this. Once you have these substances in your blood, in your system, they want for more. Okay? So you have to detoxify, he will call you. Detoxify the heavy stuff that you and the drugs.
The heavy toxins?
The heavy toxins,
And that's what
and repair your liver.
So,
Repair your liver. This what he is showing, what we're showing you right now.
And you guys can order this through Down to Earth,
Yeah.
and it's way less than what you can get online. So,
It's a half price.
okay.
It's a half
There you go.
price. What this here does, you have 7 sachets in here, and you take 1 per day, and it detoxifies the body of all drugs, including heavy drugs, completely. And
I
at the
read-
end of 7 days, you don't have drugs in your system anymore.
Awesome.
Once you
Awesome.
don't have them, your desire
as soon as you can.
for them is less.
Yes.
And this
Which
is crucially
It
important.
is. It is
Crucially
really
important.
I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
He needs 10 minutes.
Okay. no problem.
Then you have kudzu. Many of you probably heard of this. This is a Japanese plant that helps
Cut the craving.
cuts the cravings of alcohol and of drugs.
How about sugar?
Well, sugar is a matter of candida.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it.
But alcohol does turn to sugar.
Yes,
it
does.
Yeah.
So.
Alcohol creates candida.
Oh, wow.
And candida is a fungus.
Yes.
A fungus is something that expands and just takes over, okay? And it's very difficult to get rid of.
And it creates toxins in your body and
And
it affects your
creates-
mind.
Toxins
Yeah.
in your body.
Which goes right back to you guys, what we're talking about today. Detoxing, if you've been an alcoholic or a drug addict of any kind, the importance of detox and getting your health, water, and
Exactly.
supplements. It's big time.
Because it wants you to drink. It
Yes.
wants you to have sugar. It wants you to have a drug.
Yeah, so your
If
body
it is in your body.
It's kind of like the flesh instead of the mind.
Yeah.
You end up following your body's cravings
Exactly.
because you're so toxic.
Exactly.
And then once you start detoxing,
The body is an animal,
yes,
okay?
she
It's
said.
no, it's actually an animal, and we are in it, but it's very strong. It has a strong will. If the body is under the addiction of sugar, of drugs, of alcohol, your will can fight with it as much as it can.
And the body's
So-
going to just try to get you back to your next fix.
Precisely.
We just want to get more of what we're
Precisely.
addicted to.
Even if you don't want it, the body's going to fight you, and it's going to want it. And if it's going to be stronger if your vitamin B's are not strong, if your amino acids are not in balance, if
This
your
is the product
body,
you're talking about right here.
this is the product. Exactly.
So I posted it.
An
They're looking at a
exceptional
picture of it
product.
right now
Yeah.
as you're talking about it.
That detoxifies the body of all drugs, including heavy drugs. Imagine that.
And this
Yes.
product sells online for $100.
Yeah, and we sell it for 50.
So if you want a deal, this is the place to come. No matter where you're at, all of you lovely people that are recovering addicts, Steve and Irina is where you want to come, down to earth to get
Joy.
Steve and Joy.
Irina was my
I
wife
know,
who's
I know.
passed away.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay,
I
yeah.
knew that.
Do you guys
Yeah.
want to give a little background of how this all started?
Well, when I was a young man, I came to work here at this store, and it was in this room right here the original store was in. And I said to my mother, this business is going to go big time. We need to get it bigger. So we bought a building next door, and we tore it down and built the existing store over there. And so this was the original store right here, and it's just this much.
Yeah, but you and your mom
Yeah,
opened the first
yeah.
health food store in Ogden.
No, there was no one before us.
There was another one?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it sounds better.
But this is the only
No,
one.
I don't lie to him.
And I did.
But it's been 45 years
We're
ago.
the longest
okay?
running health food store in Weber County.
There we
That's
go.
even bigger.
Right, right. 45 years ago. Nobody else survived.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They want to know if your store is online as well. Is that coming soon?
It's coming soon.
Yeah, so for now,
It's
that
been
one
and
covered.
it's in repair right now, and it's gonna come back.
Plus, you'll learn a lot
Yeah,
more.
so
about
do,
it.
exactly. You do learn a lot more, like Felice said. If you call, don't hesitate. They would love to hook you up with whatever your supplement or whatever it is that you're going to need. And also, we really, really want to support with COVID. You know, not only did it hit our health, but we're just busting our hump to help small businesses who were hit by COVID. So we're totally for everybody who's their sobriety, they're trying to get health, and we also want to get people's business healthy as well. And we might even, you guys might want to talk about that a little bit. I'll leave it up to you. If they want to talk about COVID a little bit, tell you what you need to do to stay healthy, you can ask that too, you guys.
Okay. COVID is a virus, and it's a virus that's mutating. we should never be afraid of a virus. We should be prepared for a virus. And the immune system is designed to take care of viruses as well as any other pathogens, okay? But in cases like this, because it's a new virus and there is no horde immunity yet, we have to work at our immune system. So the bottom line of the elements that you need, the supplements that you need are vitamin D3, vitamin C, and zinc. Zinc is a mineral that stops the proliferation of the virus. Once the virus is in the system, if you don't have zinc, it just grows. You probably notice that when you have a cold, the first thing that you lose is taste and smell.
Yes.
This is the sign that you don't have enough zinc in
You're
your
low in
body.
zinc.
You're low in zinc when you cannot smell and you cannot taste something. So you have to have zinc. But you have to have zinc prophylactically. You have to have zinc in your system so that when the virus comes, doesn't expand, doesn't proliferate.
The zinc is healing, so they cannot get a good blood test for zinc because when you stick yourself with a needle to draw the blood out, the zinc goes right there to heal that puncture, and so it sucks the zinc up, and they go, "Oh, your zinc is fine." The best zinc is a zinc taste test. It's called Zinc Status.
Yeah.
Ethical Nutrients makes it out there. We don't carry it in here, but you just put 10 mils in your mouth, hold it for 10 seconds, and then you describe the taste. If it tastes like water, get on the zinc because you're low in zinc. If it tastes nasty, your zinc levels are good. So it's important. One thing really interesting, and this is in the Journal of Medicine, American Journal of Medicine. My friend is a researcher, and he was reading, and he says the way to get rid of the flu, if you have the flu or even COVID, and you get you a zinc lozenge, it has to be acetate or citrate, and the zinc lozenge, and you take it 5 times a day under your tongue, it goes to your salivary glands and it cuts your time in half that you'll be sick. Cuts it in half just by adding that nutrient.
Literally.
If you add other things, that are like maybe oregano and the D3 and stuff, it go even quicker.
Olive leaf and others.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you guys. I think I had COVID in February of this
Possibly,
year.
yeah.
And I'm sure of it because I was sick for 2 weeks. It was like the flu. It was not like any other flu I'd ever had, and I was really sick. I had fever kind of on and off, but I was
And
down.
you usually don't have fever.
Yeah, and I was down for 2 weeks. Didn't kill me. And I
You personally,
didn't
you don't have
feel
fever,
like
right?
I was dying.
Yeah.
But I'm certain I had COVID in February. I mean, I'm just, I haven't
Because
gone
zero-
tested, but I'm okay. I think that's the big thing. I survived, plus that I'm, in my 90s. So
Zero-
the fact that I survived is
O minus, 0 minus, blood types.
Yes, zero negative, yeah.
They don't get the virus so easily.
What type?
Zero
Zero
negative.
Zero
Negative, zero
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
And they don't have fever a lot. So if you had that, you might have had it.
I think so.
It doesn't mean that you don't get it, but you get it,
Right.
but you get easily over it.
Yeah, I did. I thought
Trump did.
Right. and we're
He's
supposed to be-
zero negative.
Yes.
He went through this like
I know, he gave me the went right off.
fanfare.
Bless his
Yeah,
heart.
bless his heart.
That's right.
Easily like that, okay?
Yeah.
And you too. But this doesn't mean that you're not going to get it.
Right.
But if you have fever and if you have breathing problems, then you know you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. And like I said, I didn't go get tested because I'm just not one of those people to run to the doctor every
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I got better. And like I said, I'm now detoxing and doing, hey, come on, 2021 has got to be better than 2020. So
It
what are we
has
now
to be.
doing?
It cannot be.
Detoxing
Cannot
and
be worse.
detoxing. Is that not it?
Cannot be
Health
worse.
of our bodies and minds and health of local businesses. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Kathy. And
You're
it's
welcome.
so noble a work what you're doing, you guys.
Thank you.
So wonderful.
It wouldn't be possible without these guys.
Yeah. So what are they saying? Hey, you guys.
A lot of I need it. How can we get a hold of you? It's amazing for sharing. Thank you for your
Good.
story.
Good.
Show me the box again.
Show me how.
The cool thing about 2021 is that 2020 will be hindsight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to have
Yeah.
to take that attitude.
Yeah.
Especially, and I know we're talking about recovering addicts and everything, but when COVID hit and they start closing down small businesses, and I've worked for so many years with small businesses also,
right.
Yeah.
that they're just putting these people out of business, and it's just not fair.
Well,
so
you look
I
at-
wanted to combine the both.
Yeah.
We want to get people healthy, and we want the businesses healthy. too.
Exactly.
Look at California. The governor down there, or the mayor, I don't know which he was. He's
Both.
telling everybody that he's shutting down the businesses, and then he's out partying with them, and they got pictures of him partying without masks on. And I mean, California should repeal that guy and get him out of office.
Absolutely.
Get him out of office.
Oh, good thing we're here, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right. We're in
We start
Utah.
local.
What a difference.
Yeah, but our locals are doing a good job here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at.
Hey, Shondia.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Shondia, we're just downtown here in Ogden over at Down to Earth. Shondia is a local here in Utah.
Hi, Shanti.
Hi, Shante.
That was a joke, by the way. 2020 is hindsight.
Ah, okay. It's actually
We were serious. We didn't get
Literally, hindsight 2020.
Yeah.
yeah.
She says hi.
Hi. So, take care of the basics. Take care of the basics, and do not ever give up. Never give up.
I like that.
And that's an amazing thing, because whenever I'm privileged enough to talk to LT and Felice's audience, which is you guys, I'm always thrilled and excited that you've gotten sober. That
Yeah.
in itself
Phenomenal.
is enormous.
Yeah.
And that's why when we're going into 2021, we're celebrating sobriety. That's what we're doing. Everybody, if you're sober, we're celebrating you. Keep at it. And then we're going to help whoever we can possibly help to get sober if they're not sober.
So Russ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hello, Ross.
That was
Good to
Okay,
hear
Russ,
you.
we're here.
Okay, we're starting our radio show, kiddies. Hi, Ross.
Hi, Ross. This is Kathy. This is Felice. This is LT.
Hey, Russ.
This is Steve, and this is Joy. Good to hear you. Now, we are going to hear Kathy describing her phenomenal work.
Thank you. You're so kind to say
Please.
that.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just going to give you a little overview, Russ, of what we've got going on and what happened. Just to be brief, LT is my nephew, Felice is my niece, and we, all of us, have had alcoholism touch our lives. Not pleasantly. Good things are happening now because of it, but my father was an alcoholic, my mother, there was drug addiction with other members, because there's 4 of us kids in the family. And then fast forward, LT ended up becoming a drug addict and an alcoholic, bless his heart. He's been sober now for a year and
3 months.
3 months. Yay!
Wow.
We're celebrating his sobriety. And so when they invited me, when LT started Recovering Addict, he and his wife, Felice, are the founders of Recovering Addict. They asked me to be on the board. I don't know if they regret it yet. I just can't say that. But anyway, when they asked me to be on the board, I brought my marketing skills. The name of my company, one of my companies is Advise Advertising Consulting Inc. And what I wanted to do was come up with a way to fundraise and not only help people get sober, because all of our hearts are in anybody. Yes?
Should I be recording right now?
Yes.
Oh, we were
Go right ahead.
sure that you were. Yeah, please.
I wasn't sure if that was sensitive information or not, so I started recording and then I stopped because I wanted to confirm. So just to confirm that, could you kind of go back about a minute or two?
The whole thing?
Oh, minute or two.
Sure. Okay,
Minute or
I'll go
two.
ahead. I'll let everybody introduce the program and then we'll just start rewinding what you just said.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
forward, okay?
Yeah, thank Thanks, Russ. I'm only 60 plus for crying
Can
out
you
loud.
hear-
My memory sucks.
Can you hear her well?
Yeah, I think so. Just, yeah, that's good.
Okay, you
Okay,
can hear
you
me?
don't need to do that.
Okay.
Just relax there.
Every glory to you, and thank you for all the people here today. We just thank you so much, and we just commit this time to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you
Amen.
for that.
Welcome to Down to Earth Radio, and today we have a treat. We have our friends from, well, let them kind of tell a little bit about what's happening today. So Joy and Steve from Down to Earth in Ogden, Utah, tell us what the show's going to look like today.
Okay, we have the honor and the pleasure and the help of Kathy. Your last
Mickelson, Yeah.
Kathy Mickelson, LT
Weaver.
Weaver, and his
Felice
wife
Weaver.
Felice Weaver, and we are going to join hands to help people to come over addiction of any kind, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, any kind of addiction. They are putting a tremendous amount of work and a tremendous amount of effort into this, and their skills and their capabilities into this, and we are adding to that supplements and our knowledge to help with it. So Kathy is going to be the first one to explain to you
And
what
this is
it
live on air right now.
and it's live.
And,
we
it's
No,
being
it's a recording.
We're not
We're
pre-
recording radio.
prepared
But we are live.
live on
Yes,
YouTube.
yes.
I
on
mean,
YouTube.
Yes, we are live and we are recording.
Yeah.
Hi, Russ.
So give them the address, if you would, LT, of where they can go see it right now online.
Recovering Addict, but it's not live with him. So, but Recovering
that's
Addict
right.
on YouTube.
You're right.
Yeah,
Is where we're
recoveringaddict.org.
live right now.
You can
Recovering
watch
Addict.org.
and you can find the Recovering Addict.
.org.
And you can
That's all.
find this program up there.
Yes.
Yes, he's going to have this program on his YouTube channel so that you can watch it there. And those that are going to be listening to this radio program, you can find anything. Go to recoveringaddict.org. Steve and Joy don't have their website up yet. When they do have it, we will let them
It's
know.
coming. It
Yes.
was there. It needed to be down, and now it's going to come back.
But the thing I wanted to say, Russ, you know, we had the opiate crisis before COVID. Before
Yeah.
COVID hit, everybody knew that we had a humongous drug addiction problem in our country. And as I mentioned before, LT, Felice, myself, we all come from alcoholic. We had parents that were alcoholic. We had family members who were alcoholics. We still have a family member that's an alcoholic. So my heart really, and everybody else who's had addiction touch their lives, really went out to people that were trying to recover from alcoholism. So what I wanted to do when they invited me, when LT and Felice, once LT got sober a year and 3 months ago, praise the Lord, they invited me
And
on
forever.
the board to Recovering Addict. And as a board member, I also lent my skills as an advertising consultant and specialist, communication specialist. And so what I wanted to do was combine the Recovering Addict program with helping the businesses that suffered so greatly during the COVID crisis, the small local direct businesses.
Yeah.
So we're combining Recovering Addict with local business sponsors, which Down to Earth is our first sponsor. We love them to pieces, so that not
Thank
only
you.
can we get people healthy, but we can get people's businesses healthy.
Yeah.
I'm a small business person. I have multiple companies. I've got Advice Advertising Consulting, Equishow Productions, and my heart goes out to every person who is an entrepreneur, who is an independent business person, and we really need to fight right now
Yeah.
to help our businesses
Yeah.
as well as the health issue, the opiate crisis that's out there. So that's why LT and I and Felice and you guys, that's why we're all here today, Russ.
Excellent, excellent. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
And we're glad we have them on our program, because this is one of the major problems, health problems we encounter.
It is.
Major, major, major.
And one thing too, Russ, that Recovering Addict is doing, if you go to their website, one of the problems that they found is that if you're a recovering addict and maybe you're not financially where you need to be, they have a hard time, right, LT, finding meetings to go to. So if you go to recovery.org, you call LT, they will hook you up, and I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that. They will hook you up with some kind of counseling and somebody who can help you if you can't get in front of a counselor, because that's huge. I mean, we're talking about the health, how important that is, but we can't, like recovering addicts say, we recover better together. So we're here today not only to help you detox, but we also want to help you find a meeting if you can't find a meeting.
Right. Being not alone in this process is one of the major helps you can have, right?
Yes.
It's huge. And recoveringaddict.org is a place where you can start finding peers, finding other people to help you, to sustain you, and for you to sustain them.
Yes.
People who have been through it before,
Yes.
and they've detoxed and they've come out of it. They can help you to come through it too, because they have the expertise, right, front row seat of it.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
I have a question for you guys. So if somebody does not have any type of health insurance or something, how does that play out? If you have insurance, oftentimes there's maybe some way you could get a referral to this program or something like that, I would imagine. But what happens if you don't have any type of insurance right now?
So, Russ, this is LT here. How you doing?
Great.
My whole design behind the thing is I'm just going to give you a brief backstory of my drug history, who I am, and how this all started, and then I'll dial in on that aspect right there, because that's one need that I've seen, and that's what need I want to fill. So back in the early 2000s, I became a meth addict, right? I was just a party guy. I ran away from home. I considered it moved out, but somebody told me once I ran away at 15. And I haven't been back since, but I ran away at 15, dropped out of high school at 10th grade, and I just started partying. I started doing drugs. Any drug that was in front of me, I started doing it. And then when I was living in Michigan at the time, and then I moved back here to Utah. And when I moved back here to Utah, nothing changed. My brother just helped me get out of trouble that I had gotten in there. And I just continued to use drugs, drink, and then I came across meth. And meth took me to places that a lot of people don't even know how dark you can actually get when you do meth. But I was in that realm of right here locally in Ogden. And I have a felony to prove it. I ended up committing a crime. I had to do a year in jail, 3 years probation. And I was scared straight at that point in my life. I was still an addict. I was still addicted to, external pleasures and a different type of reward system that's not healthy. And so the day I got off probation, bam, I was smoking marijuana that day. I started smoking marijuana, and I only quit, a few years later to get a job where they drug tested. So fast forward to my early 30s, not realizing I'm an addict and I have an allergy to this type of substance or alcohol. I start casually drinking on the weekends, birthday parties, Super Bowls, that type of thing. And that slowly progressed all the way till 2017 when my son was in a huge accident. And I was already, by the time of 2017, I was drinking a pint of whiskey every night. So it's progressing severely. I'm drinking a pint of whiskey every night. It's my routine on the way home. I hit the liquor store. And then in 2017, our son, Fleece is here as well, was in a severe UTV accident. He got his head crushed. The UTV came down the hill with 7 kids in it, and they got going about 40 miles an hour. It flipped, landed on his head, and drug him down the hill. A lot of people listening have heard this story before, but that was the excuse I needed to basically try to kill myself with alcohol. At that point, it went from a pint where I was trying to manage, but I was still drinking a lot on the weekends before that, right? But this just gave me the excuse, the justification I needed to just
Motivation.
the motivation to drink a fifth, and then I turned it up from a pint a night to a fifth, sometimes 2 during the night or during the week, and then I was drinking gallons on the weekend, and that lasted a good couple of years.
And it's amazing you're alive.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? When you're
Yeah.
consuming that kind of alcohol, that you're alive.
And that your liver is alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's one of the things that got me. I went and got my blood drawn. And he's scrolling through my numbers, right? And he gets down to my enzymes, and he just lets go of his mouse. And he's like, "How much do you drink?" And I was like, "Oh, that's all about half of what I drink." He's like, "Quit BSing me." You know, you want to live to be 50, you
Yeah.
want to watch your kids grow up, you need to quit right now.
Right.
And so that was kind of a staple. And then a bunch of other things with Felice and I, and addiction and alcoholism and chaos and just all that
And
stuff.
your
that it brings.
pancreas and everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And so, long story short, I call my dad, take me to detox. If I don't quit today, I'm never going to quit. So he comes, picks me up, takes me to the hospital. I spent 4 days in a hospital detoxing. And then after that, I checked myself into an intense outpatient program. Luckily, I had insurance. I had a good job, barely maintained a good job. And I finished this course. Then I entered into another IOP program down here locally. And once I finished that course, I realized there was a need. So I started a YouTube channel called Recovering Addict, and it's blossomed from there. And as soon as COVID hit, I saw that AA meetings, NA meetings were shutting down. And people weren't getting the support that they needed. And the worst thing for an alcoholic or an addict, especially in early days of sobriety, is isolation, right?
Yes.
Isolation is horrible. That's why
Yeah.
our motto here at Recovering
Yeah.
Addict is we recover better together, because we need that communal support. And then through my time in the IOP in this last year, I watched people come to try to get into these intense outpatient programs. I don't have the insurance, or it costs too much money, but they need help that day. You know, the addiction doesn't care if you got insurance or not.
Yeah.
So I created this community, and it blew up since we started going live every single night since April. We went live 130 live streams in a row, 7 days a week, until we grew this community. Now we have a Discord, a private Facebook group where you can get 24-hour support just by joining our community through these simple apps on your phone. You're instantly connected to a group of people who want and desire and love to help you. And now the whole part about the course, I've created a course that's going to be a repetitious every 6 weeks. It's going to just start over. If you are in a position, you just quit drugs, you don't have support, you don't have insurance, you can join our online community. You're going to get 7 days a week of accountability. You're going to get a course that's basically going to teach you everything the 12 steps teach you, plus what you're going to learn in an IOP. And this is basically a supplement. I look at Recovering Addict as a supplement, right? That's what we're talking about now. If you can have a good steak dinner after a workout, that's better. But if you can get a protein shake, that's good too. And right now, at the times being the way that they are, Recovering Addict is a supplement that's set in place for anybody that doesn't have insurance, needs support immediately, and as it grows, it's going to be more than 7 days a week. I mean, it's going to be almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even though there is instant 24-hour support right then and there.
Okay, that's the question. What does IOP stand for?
Intense Outpatient Program. It's basically, when I was in my intense outpatient program, I went to work, I got off work, and then 3.5 hours every single night I was in front of a counselor doing homework, 5 days a week, mandatory AA and NA meetings on the weekend, drug tests, accountability, that kind of thing.
Hey, can we talk really quick about what do you think are some of the trigger points for someone if they feel like they could be starting to lean into possibly becoming an addict, getting addicted to alcohol or things? Are there some warning flags? Because some people might say, well, I can moderately drink a certain amount of alcohol, so I'm not an addict. Where does the line go, over into that area of destruction and so forth?
So the first red flag I see there is if you're wondering if you got a problem, you probably do, would be number one.
Yeah.
Number two is can you have just one glass of wine? Can you finish a half a glass of wine and dump the rest out? Or are you the type that if you have a glass of wine, a 6-pack of beer, you have to finish every last drop? Can you go to a restaurant, drink a beer, and just leave a half a beer sitting on the table? Or do you have to finish that beer before you go? And if your spouse or somebody else left one sitting on the table, you consider it strange and maybe have to drink that one too on your way out. The inability to control it. It's like an allergy. In the big book, in the Doctor's Opinion, it talks about the phenomenon of craving. And that's an allergy that we have towards alcohol or substances. Once we get that in our system, we have no control after that to finish what's in front of us.
Yeah.
That's why when I was trying to maintain, right, with quotes around maintain, my pint, I would end up either browbeating my wife to take me to the liquor store, or I would end up drunk driving myself back to the liquor store because I couldn't just have a couple and quit. But the big book does talk about moderate people that can handle and
Right.
have a couple of drinks, but there's definitely a difference between the ones that can and the ones that
Yes.
can't.
Yes.
The ones that must and the ones that
continue the
like.
conversation, but I want to just really quickly give the phone number for Down to Earth Health Food Store in Ogden. They're the ones who are kind enough to co-sponsor or you can say sponsor this
Yes.
time to talk about recovering addiction. Excuse me, recovering
addict.
Okay.
.org.
Recoveringaddict.org.
recoveryaddict.org. There you go.
Yeah.
And so let me give you the number. If you want to reach, say, Steve or Joy at the store there, it's 621-1627. They're located in Ogden, right off of Washington Boulevard on 27th Street. They have a lot of products that can help you, I think, kind of cleanse your body from times where maybe you have indulged too much in alcohol or drugs and things like this. And at some point here in the program, we'll talk about that as well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Touch on that. But LT, just go ahead and continue on, or Kathy, or Joy, or Steve, whoever's next who wants to share about this vision of trying to help people to get out of
I want to.
what's your problem?
Yeah, so I want to jump in and give you the second part. I'm not just here for recovering addicts and alcoholics, because when I was in my addiction, the chaos and destruction that I caused in my family, it caused all of us to need recovery, not just me. I'm not the only one recovering. My wife was never an addict. She was never an alcoholic. But the chaos that I caused us to have to recover as a family. And so on top of helping the addicts, we have the other side to help the non-addict who has been drugged through addiction, either if you're a child of an alcoholic or you're an alcoholic with children, or you're a spouse of a drug addict or an alcoholic. We offer the same support for that niche and variety as well. And Felice, if you want to share just a titch of your story.
Yeah, this is Felice. Married to LT, obviously. So, yeah, I was on the other side where I experienced living with an addict and realizing that there's nothing you can do to make them quit, and you have to just let them go down the path that they're going until they decide that quitting is something they want to do. And what I help the family members do is just kind of cope and go through that process, because it's probably one of the hardest things to do is watching somebody you love just go down a path of destruction. And so to get the resources and the help to be able to cope with those feelings without becoming codependent or co-addicted to what they're doing is very helpful, because I became like co-addicted to his addiction. Like, I would track our bank account, I'd see where he was going, I'd see how many times he went to the liquor store. And I finally was like, felt myself getting angry and I needed help, so I ended up going to counseling and doing research and getting help for me before he got help for him. And the things I learned were things that I think in the end kind of helped steer him towards getting help for himself.
And one other thing too, Russ, and I'm saying here because LT and I are related. He's my nephew. Felice is my niece. I was in this really similar situation with Felice, where everybody in my family was alcohol addicted but me, and so you really go through trauma and pain just trying to cope with the addicted people. I was the little one that was going, let's go get, whatever I could do to try to get my family sober. Of course, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. How
But
can you?
the other thing I wanted to say, Russ, is that here you have a couple of younger people. LT's in his 40s, Felice in her late 30s, I'm in my 60s, and I'm still having issues at my age. I'm trying to detox off of sugar right now, which may not seem awful, but it still is an addiction. I totally relate to Felice, having been a sober person, especially as young as I was, and having all of these addicts around me. And then the point is, it takes years to recover.
Yeah.
And that's why when they say, we recover better together, we do. It's an ongoing counseling thing. In fact, and I hope they don't mind my saying this, LT and Felice and I, we're just getting to know each other as adults. And the alcoholism and drug addiction and family problems got in the way of these relationships. And now, here we go. We look at how devastating this was to our families. And here we are helping people get sober. And just now getting to know each other and love each other the way we should, without the alcohol addiction in the way.
Yeah,
There is
like-
something very important to mention here. Babies born from alcoholics need to have vitamin K administered in order for them to do not become alcoholics later in life.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
There are studies made on babies on that, and this is a very important thing to discuss with your doctor if you are pregnant or if you have a baby, to discuss this topic. Google it also. Just inform yourself, but get vitamin K to your baby so that later in life they don't become addicted.
So
Hey, maybe I could ask a question to one of you about the liver and just to help educate us as to how alcohol affects the function of the liver. Would Joy or Steve want to comment on really, what does alcohol do to the liver? It's not it's
Yeah.
trying to cleanse the body. That's what the liver does, the cleanser.
Yeah, the liver is a filter, and everything that needs to be cleansed goes through the liver. Poor liver. That's why the liver is one of the organs that regenerate the fastest in the body, because it has to. But if you put too much of these toxins, too many of these toxins, and too much of this quantity of toxin in that through that filter, it's going to be overwhelmed. And every organ, by the way, this is so important to understand. Every organ has certain elements that it needs to function properly. Things that the liver needs, the kidney doesn't. Things that the heart needs, the eyes don't need, and so forth. So if you give your liver what it needs to function properly, it's going to overcome the avalanche of challenges that an addiction puts on it. Okay, so this is the major thing that you need to know about the liver, that the liver can be overwhelmed because of too much toxins and too much work
Stress.
and stress. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Thank you. So maybe going back to LT or to Kathleen, tell us a little bit about what Recovering Addicts is in terms of an organization that can be supported even financially. Do you have a 501c3 set up, or is it something that's in the works, or you're serving as a corporation, or how can people be involved to help you continue on? Are you supported by the government or private donations, or how does that work?
Private donations right now. I have a patron. We have multiple ways you can donate. And yes, we do have a 501c3. We are a nonprofit. And if you go to recoveringaddict.org, there's a donation page. You can go there. We don't really solicit donations, but if the Lord leads you to deliver or to sow a seed here with us, that's greatly appreciated. We definitely put that right back into our community.
And one other thing too, Russ, excuse me, and that's part of my purpose here as well, why the Lord's got me here. We're working on a program right now with Recovering Addict and local businesses to help obviously a recovering addict needs donations and they need some help, obviously, because they're a nonprofit. But what we're doing is we're teaming up with local businesses, and Down to Earth is our first one. And what we're trying to do is highlight sobriety and then the health of businesses after COVID hit and took down, and is still taking down so many small businesses and entrepreneurs. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've got my company, LT's got his, Steve and Arena have got theirs. So I don't think people understood when COVID hit that it was going to have such a devastating effect on our businesses. So we've teamed up to help fundraise through the business sponsorship and to get LT's and Felice's recoveringaddict.org out there, but also to grow businesses like Down to Earth with Stephen Joy, because we are all self-employed. I love it. I've been self-employed most of my life, and I couldn't have it any other way. So I'm trying, not only my heart's behind helping people get sober, but also helping the people who need help with their businesses that have been hit so hard. That have been hit so hard by COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So, LT, if I could ask you some questions about recoveringaddicts.org, how many weeks on average does it take for a loved one in your family, say, they've been determined to have alcohol or another drug kind of a problem or something? I mean, I think in some cases you have to almost get away from your surroundings, right? There's places where a person can go like in a more of a retreat setting, or a kind of a place where you're away from the norm and you have more accountability and things. Would you suggest that might be a good option as well? And is what you do is complementary to that, but that could be a stage in somebody's recovery. I don't know if that was something that you found that was helpful.
Absolutely. I think one of the
I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. One of the key things to have a successful recovery is to get your mind completely cleared of toxins from the alcohol or the opiates or the meth or whatever drug you're on. And if somebody is that lost in addiction where they cannot control themselves, to go away for 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days to an intense inpatient program, not an outpatient, inpatient, where they stay and live there, to accomplish that, to give their body a chance to heal, recover from the actual substance in their body and get their mind start thinking clearly with that strict of accountability, 100%, that is something that's necessary. Everybody's recovery is different. Everybody's recovery is at a different level. Mine needed an IOP, right? I had to go to the hospital to avoid the DTs from alcohol, but I didn't need to go check myself into an inpatient rehab. Some people do. Some people need maintenance assisted medication or treatment. And if that's something they need, they'll need it. And that's kind of another thing we do here at Recovering Addict, is we offer the immediate support to help them find the support they need. It will give them you can't find the length of something without measuring, right? So you don't know where you're at if you haven't measured yourself against other addicts. And with the wide community we have here at Recovering Addict will help somebody to determine the level of care they need, and in any state, right? We can point them in any right direction that they would need to help them. We're always here as a supplement for free, digitally for them throughout the whole process and through the whole future of whatever this goes.
And the other thing we're trying to do, Russ, too, is we're marrying digital versus original media.
Exactly.
And the thing is, sometimes demographically, people don't understand the use of the tools, radio, television, print, direct mail, whatever they are, no matter how old they are, original media, which original media, by the way, is paper.
Yeah.
Speaking is what we wrote on. So now you want to fast forward radio, TV, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So we are trying to get the message out with original media and digital media. So you need a digital strategy if you're going to do your marketing, and you also need an original strategy. Because even if you can't afford, and this is for another show, but here we've got Steve and Joy, they're spending their hard-earned money on KUTR, which is a local Christian radio station, to try to get the word out because their audience is of value to us. And so that's the other thing that we're doing. We're combining their skills and Recovering Addict, my skills as a marketer, to marry original and digital to get the word out, because we care not only about recovering addicts, but the businesses that have been hit so hard by COVID too.
Yeah.
Russ, I just wanted to add one thing real quick. We're streaming this live on all my platforms. And I had one of our community friends, he's actually a moderator in my community from Australia. He just wanted to make sure that it's out there that this Recovering Addict has gone worldwide. We have audiences and moderators in the UK, England, London, Scotland, and all over Australia as well.
Woohoo!
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's where that 24-hour support comes
That's
in.
how
Yes,
24-hour
yes.
support. Every time zone's covered.
Okay, great. I have a question for Kathleen. For Kathy.
Kathy.
Kathy, you've been in marketing and advertising for some time.
My whole life.
I want to ask you, to all the moms out there, can you express to them how much our young men, say our sons and daughters, are being influenced through advertising for beer commercials, alcohol commercials? When I think about certain commercials on TV or internet or something, the ones that are for beer and hard liquor are always the most, seemingly to me, aside from maybe some funny insurance ads that I see on, there's some pretty good humor going on there. But for the alcohol ones, they're very clever, they're funny, they've been known, with the, I don't want to go into specifics, but just on a general basis, can you address the fact that those manufacturers are trying to target our teenage or our young people? They're trying to target people in general. They have a lot of money to spend, and how does that advertising adversely affect our communities in light of what we're talking about?
It's huge, Russ. And as a marketer, I'm aged. I'm over 60. I have been in the advertising marketing industry since a child. I was raised in it, and it's horrible. And you have to tell moms, you think this is the bad news. It's terrible. If your kids are seeing marketing and advertising you don't want them to see, if they're looking at alcohol, whatever it is, it can be too much sugar. Sugar can kill you if you overdose on sugar. So then my response to that, to the negative advertising, is turn off your TV, turn off your gadget, go talk to each other, sit down and have a conversation, or figure out what you can do with your family, beyond everybody being on their tablet or their gadget in the same room and not talking to one another. Because while there's a place for social media, while there's a place for positive advertising and marketing, there's also a place where we as consumers and as Americans, we have to say no. I'm not going to watch that show. If they're
But you're
pushing
talking about
alcohol.
another addiction here.
It is. That's right. And if you heard Joy, there's another addiction. People are addicted to their screen.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be older people in the demographic of 60 plus that are in their TVs, or 40-year-olds that have got their tablet on their lap, or 10-year-olds that have their phone in their hands. We are addicted to electronics, and you need to just shut down whatever it is that your kids, you don't want them watching, then don't support it. Don't buy it. Don't talk about it. And talk about and promote the things that you want to. And just one quick thing, my business, as long as I've been in business a long time, 35 plus years with this company, but you don't have to do anything. Nobody's forcing anybody to watch these horrible commercials or what's going on with the media now. So that's where we as a people just have to say, no, I don't want to watch that, and I'm not going to watch it. And moms have a good concern, but the backside of that is then you need to watch your kids a little more, keep them off and not only that, wait. Get them out, play, forget the mask thing, go outside and have a good time and get physical and get sweaty and help your body detox and drink lots of water and come back in and play. And then tell the moms that are worried, keep your kids away from commercials and things that you don't want them watching. That's the really easiest way.
Hey, great, thank you. Hey, Steve, could you just give the contact information? We need to let everybody know listening where they can find you for all of their health food and all the vitamins, minerals, all the things you guys offer. So many things. You want to give that information?
Yeah, we're Steve and Irina's Down to Earth. If we're looking it up in the phone book, we want to go under Steve and Irina because Down to Earth isn't in the phone book. Okay, so that's good to know. But anyway, our address is 341 27th Street, Ogden, Utah, and we're in area code 84401. And our phone number is 801-621-1627.
Great, 801-621-1627. And you guys can ship products out to everyone listening, whether you're in North Carolina or Utah.
In the whole world. In the whole world. Yeah.
Great. Hey, Steve or Joy, would you want to comment a little bit on trying to help somebody who's
Yeah.
coming out of addiction? What are some basics, if we were just to use the alphabet maybe, and talk about, the ABCs?
And that's the word. That's the word. Yes. What are the basics? Because it has been shown that alcohol addicts are missing in B vitamins. They are lacking in amino acids, minerals, and probiotics. So a mother should make sure before they try to bring the person to the life decision to stop the addiction, which is so difficult, they should make sure that the child or the person has the bottom line elements that the body needs to fight, to be healthy, and to fight the desire for that addiction. So B vitamins, number one, amino acids, number two, probiotics, number three.
If I jump in real quick on the B vitamins, there's B12, there's B3. Could you kind of go over all those B vitamins? Why do we have all these numbers next to the B?
We suggest a complex which has everything in it.
The most important thing that you need to know about the B vitamins is this. If you take just one type of B vitamin, like B12, you deplete the body of the others Bs.
Because you're going to take B12 again, but not the other B vitamins. So you go
exactly. So if you have, like, the B vitamins that you need for addiction is B1, B5, and B2. B1, B2, B5. But you cannot. Niacin is extremely important. But these are the vitamins that you immediately need for that. But if you take just these, you're going to deplete the others, like the 12s and so forth. And so you have to have the B vitamins and to over supplement the B1, B2, and B5. Okay, so this is number one. Number two, which is so crucially important, is to detoxify the body. If you have the toxins in the body is going to crave for more. And there is a superb product that's called PuriClean Instant Max Cleanser, which has 7 sachets in it. And you drink one with water every day. At the end of these 7 days, your body is completely clean of every drug that you ever took before. No matter how heavy that drug was, your body is free of it. Once your body is free, your craving for drugs is going to be less. Nobody can tell you that it's gone, but it's going to be a help for you to fight with the addiction and with the need. Another product that we sell here, it's called kudzu. It's a plant from Japan, and this helps for the quenching of the addiction, the craving. It stops the cravings. Yeah, and so these would be then vitamin D is crucially important. Strengthening the immune system is very important. Probiotics are very important because serotonin, that is also lacking in many addicts, is produced in the gut. And if you don't have it, depression and many other mental and emotional problems come out of it. Okay.
Steve, would you mind going into you're in the store right now, could you go where the shelves are, where there's maybe some vitamin B, maybe some vitamin D, this Good Zeus product that Joy's talking about, and or maybe you know this by heart, but could you just give some approximate prices of what?
Yeah, he's gonna bring it to you, and until then, I can tell you this kudzu costs $14.68. You have 60 caps, and this is for 2 months. So it's a $7 a month investment. It costs normally $19.59. We have reduced at $14.68. And then this 7-day cleansing, max cleansing of all drugs is usually sold for $100. We made a deal and got a large amounts of it and can sell it for $50 for the half of it, $49.98. This is a enormous help for addicts, and this is where you should start, including the B vitamins. Please, the B vitamins, the good sleep, and the probiotics, the vitamin D3, which is crucially important. And yeah, this is what you need, and the amino acids.
And then okay, so probiotics, that's going to help the cleansing process too?
The probiotics, no. The probiotics are going to produce the serotonin and the vitamin Bs. The vitamin Bs are produced in the gut. And these are, if your gut functions properly, your whole health functions properly. That's a crucially important bottom line that people have to understand. If you want to be healthy, start with your gut. Purify it from parasites. If you have dogs or other pets, you have parasites, period, end of story. If you don't have them, you have parasites as well. So purify your gut from parasites. Give the gut the good bacteria, because this is where the immune system starts and ends. Without this, the health is lacking. You don't have a good health. So we have the vitamin coenzyme B complex.
It's a chewable. For those that can't swallow a tablet, this has all your B vitamins in a chocolate flavored chewable. It gives you the coenzymated B vitamins, which anyone can use. There's 20% of the population that cannot use a regular B complex. This one here is one that you can. And for 60 count, it's only $18.68. Regular price on it is $20.69.
Okay, great. Okay. People can call you at 621-1627 right here in Ogden, Utah, and they can stop by the store on 27th Street right off of Washington Boulevard, or they can even pay you over the phone with a debit card and a credit card, and you can have it shipped off to you. A lot of people, I think, Joy and Steve and Kathleen and LT and Elise, if I have your name right, I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
It's okay, yes.
I think it's fair to say that a lot of people, we're just not really, we don't have that kind of education here. So we're getting some really good education on today's program, like we always do on Down to Earth Radio. But those things we don't really learn about in high school. We barely probably even learn about it in college, and we're just having to go and get some good information here about our own health. But it seems like we know more about how to keep our cars running than our own bodies, and so
exactly.
Anyone who's facing a recovery from addiction, recoveryaddicts.org. It's an organization that can help you find the means to get support, to get this out of your life and show how Christ can be the center of your life. And
Amen.
Amen. Pastors listening to this might want to contact you guys too, and because this is a complex situation, so it really
This one right here is the minerals that I like to use. This is trace minerals. It comes from the Great Salt Lake out here. And 40 drops a day will remineralize your body with all these trace minerals that are vacant in your foods. I mean, if you're eating the food out of the grocery store that doesn't have good minerals in it because it's been grown with nitrogen, this will put it back in. It'll give you these. Any one of these trace minerals can cause your body to go haywire, cause a problem. And so this gives you all 60 of them.
I bought those minerals from you, and I'm not making this up just because we're on this radio program. Okay, listen. Remember when I told you I had like cramps in my legs?
Yeah, right.
Tight
They
and weird
stop
stuff.
cramps.
And you said take those 40 drops, and I put them in my bottle of 64 ounces of water, and my legs have not been all cramped up at night.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing the minerals.
Yes.
Our body needs it. It craves them.
And addicts are lacking in lithium and zinc, by the way.
And it's in those trace minerals right there. Both of
Yes.
them are. Not major amounts. You get major amounts also.
And that bottle is like about $15.
Oh,
Well, it
less.
depends on the size you get.
Or less, yeah.
It's about $15 a month. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
costs about. This is a 3-month supply right
A
here.
lot.
And it's
it's
$30.
And I'm very grateful for you guys to have shown me that thing for my legs, because it's an awful feeling. Your legs are all
Oh,
it's
terrible.
Like they're just kind of like you're just tense, you can't relax. But
Let me explain shipping to your guests out there. We can ship a package, and it goes to the post office. It's goes in 2 or 3 days, and a bag that's about the size of a football will ship for $8.40 insured.
Mutated gene
Yeah.
that's called MTHFR. And if you have that gene, you cannot methylate the B vitamins, and particularly the B12 and the B5.
And it's what that allows a lady to do is give a baby that has spina bifida or scoliosis or some horrible disease. And so to make the connection that, hey, I can't methylate those vitamins, I need to get the folate instead of folic acid, that's what we're talking about right here. And it's pennies difference.
Pennies
for
difference,
And
and
it's
it
really
makes
important if you don't know
all-
whether you have the
all
right genes or
yeah. Without this difference, some women cannot get pregnant, but if they take this folate, they can. And without this, there is the risk for cancer, there is the risk for other diseases. But anyway, and this folate, methylfolate in 800 micrograms is $15.78. From $17.49, we sell it for $15.78. Then we have the microfolic acid, which is in 400 micrograms, and it's $7.48.
Folic acid is cheap. Folate's a little more.
It's not much at all. And then stress B magnesium glycinate.
Glycinate.
This is one of the best ways of
And it has folate in it. We like this one because it has folate in it.
B vitamins.
B vitamins.
And this is $11.18
has magnesium, which stops the leg cramps.
for 60 caps. And you need 2 per day. So it's for a month.
yeah, if you're suffering from things, I mean, what this program is intended to do is to give you education. We can't make any, super strong claims about how these things are going to solve all of your problems. But I think it's fair to say that if you haven't tried these things that God has made, with by way of plants and herbs and things like this, and oils and organic foods and things like this. Why not give it a try? Why spend all of your money eating
Yeah.
that are going to make you sick and
Absolutely. And fish oil is very, very important because fish oil is crucially important for the brain, especially for kids when the brain is still in development. It grows, and the brain is made 80% of fat. And if you don't give the right fat to that brain, the brain is going to take the fat that you give it. The right fat being fish oil, closest to the structure of the brain. It's going to take the other oils that you give, and that's going to make the difference between a good IQ, a high IQ, and a lower IQ. Imagine that. But also for addicts, it showed that addicts are lacking in fish oil.
Okay.
This is very, very, very important for the mothers to know. Give fish oil to your kids. Fish oils, B vitamins, D3, vitamin D3. It's like $12, $14. These things are the bottom line and the building blocks of a recovering process.
We're about having to close up the show here, but really quickly, LT, this stuff we've been talking about the last few minutes, is it kind of encouraging to you when you hear all this information that maybe friends that you will be meeting in the future might, start investing a little bit in their own health and find that they can have a real, vibrant, healthy life and all?
Oh yeah, 100%. The big book talks about it even. It talks about first you start working on the mental and then the physical. And I think if we can start educating them to get a head start on the physical, incorporate a body, spirit, and mind,
Yes.
all three together, it'll increase their chances of recovery. If they come out and we get them detoxed in 7 days with this product here, they're going to have a clearer mind and enter into recovery a lot quicker. And then the health benefits, a new reward system, you get the dopamine and serotonin going into a different direction than the old habits. Yeah,
The B vitamins, the B
vital.
vitamins.
Yes. Yes.
Great. Kathy, do you have a closing thought here?
Yes, you know what? I wanted to say thank you from the bottom of our heart to Down to Earth, to Joy and Steve.
We're happy to have you on here.
Yes,
We're
It's
so
been
happy.
Great.
We want to thank you for having us on. Thank you for supporting recoveringaddict.org. Thank you for supporting my advertising company, Advise Advertising
Yes.
Consulting. And we're here just a quickie plug for other people that are trying to get their business online. I'm working on, and LT and I are going to be working on it, doing workshops, virtual workshops, so that we can get the word out there on how people can keep their small businesses and because a lot of these people, the restaurants and things that are closing, that we can do whatever we can to help them keep their doors open, because COVID just devastated small businesses. So we've got a couple of things going on here. We're all trying to get healthy. We're trying to get detox. We're trying to get our bodies healthy. We're trying to get our businesses healthy. And we appreciate KUTR support also, Russ.
And we want to get more and more people knowing about this recovering addict,
Amen.
so that they come together and help each other, because alone you cannot do it.
And maybe you're someone out there who thinks, I don't have an addict. I'm not an addict, but you may know someone or that knows someone else, and you can tell them about this that's going on.
Exactly.
And it should be a groundswell, because there's just so many people out there that are struggling to stay healthy, sober.
And they need someone to push, to be pushed.
Right. We have friends at the Rescue Mission of Salt Lake and at the Ogden Rescue Mission, and there are folks there that are in a program, and they admit, they've gotten messed up in some stuff, but they need this information. They really do. So I'd encourage you guys to consider going to Chris Crosswhite at the Rescue Mission of Salt Lake, or the director Judy of the Ogden Rescue Mission, and let's see if we can raise some funds or something, a special gift to help people that really want to get out of this addiction problem see Christ, change their heart. It's got to come from the root. It's got to come from Christ.
One thing I'd like to say, that if anybody out there has diarrhea all the time, I know it's a terrible subject, but you could be gluten intolerant. And you can stop that by getting away from the grains and the breads. Those things cause you to get fat anyway, but don't keep going down that road of being sick to your gut all the time. Get rid of the gluten, because it can make you really sick. I'm sorry about the graphic language, but we just want to see if you're awake out there, actually. It's 6 in the morning, you know. We got to make sure you're still awake.
Take a Bible talk after we're off the air here. But thank you for joining us here on Down to Earth Radio. Here you've been with Steve, and you've been with Joy at Stephen Arenas Down to Earth in Ogden, Utah. We'll see you again next week here on AM 820 and 95.3 FM.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Wait. Does everybody feel like they got in what they wanted to say?
Yes. Thank
I
you,
think
Ross.
so.
We'll
It
be
was
listening.
very good.
Yeah, we'll be listening this Saturday morning.
Yes.
It's 6 in the morning.
Can we have a recording of this?
Yeah. I always send it to you guys. I'll send it to you right now. I'll send it off to Kathy too,
Awesome.
and then Kathy, maybe you can send it off to El.
I will. I'll make sure they get a copy of it.
Okay, guys. All right, we'll all stay in touch with each other and see how this all progresses. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Russ.
Take care and Happy New Year.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
You said. Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. It was wonderful.
That's good.
It was very good.
Now
Let's
you all know
hope.
what a radio show looks like via COVID over.
Yeah, COVID.
Notice we don't wear masks. We think it's just all a bunch of jokes that the government is playing on us. We got to stay away from the mask. If we get 6 feet apart,
Don't laugh
it's your
about
immune
this.
system. It's your immune system, folks. The mask, if you can smell smoke through the mask,
cannot
the
do
virus
that.
is small. And it'll go right through that mask.
And nobody's telling us that. I just
Yeah.
want to slap them.
Yeah.
The media.
That's right.
Because they're spreading.
I hope we're not gonna be,
Get rid of the alcohol,
Gonna
get rid
be
of the
closed
sugars,
because
and
of
stay
this
healthy. Get you some
filming.
vitamin D, some zinc, and don't be sick.
And if you don't want diarrhea, are you going to wrap up with those guys? Can we say goodbye?
Well, wait, real quick. Marilyn had a question I was supposed to ask Joy.
Yeah.
Marilyn is 20 months sober and wants to know if she needs to detox.
Yeah.
And what kind of detox would be best for her?
These two things, Marilyn.
Marilyn,
These two things. And please put yourself on good probiotics and B vitamins.
Cut out the sugar.
Sleep well. Sleep well. Make sure that you sleep well. Good probiotics, we can send them to you as well. And B vitamins.
so the 7-day detox kind of works for everything, no matter how long they've been clean.
Yeah.
They can still take it.
Yeah.
Just-
They can still take them. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does it work for
There you go, Marilyn.
Does it work for
Make sure
sugar?
you call them.
This I don't know.
Or should we say something?
This I don't.
She says, "Thank you."
You're welcome. You're so welcome.
I want to thank them for standing with us.
Oh, Desmond says you need your own show.
Yeah.
Desmond!
You've got a fan club already.
Listen to me, Desmond, you sweetheart. I've had my own radio show. I had it years ago. And I'm getting ready to start my next one on Sundays on KUTR.
Good.
And if it doesn't work on KUTR, I will be taking it to another local AM station for that very reason. And I love you, sweetheart. Thank you for the compliment. It's much appreciated. And
It's
congratulations for all of you guys that are sober. I'm so proud of you. God's with you. We love you. And just get healthy. And 2021, we're going to kick some hay, babies.
Yes.
Just
Thank you.
We're going to line them all up.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Yes. Thank you for watching. And thank you so much for your support.
Yes. Thank you for everything. And thank you guys.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Close this down our old way, huh, guys? So what is it? We got New Year's coming up Thursday from 6 to 1 o'clock. We're having a New Year's party via digital. Zoom meetings, live streams, a movie, and we're going to stop in every time zone and say, woohoo! So y'all
Woohoo!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
2021. But it's not 2020 WON. It's 2021. Right? Because
Yeah.
2020 didn't win.
Yeah.
No.
All
2012 loser.
right, till Thursday night, you guys.
Bye.
Do
We
not
love you guys.
Love you.
do not put yourself in a high risk situation. Stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.
Better together.
And shoot everybody.